Before we get back to equities, Alan Nuttman is joining, Chief Market Strategist at Agora Financial. Alan, I want to talk some crude with you. We don't have to spend too much time, though, on it because it looks like WTI fell asleep the past week.
Something's going to happen sometime. It's interesting that it's held its ground even though the dollar continues to move higher. The dollar had this breakout above 94, and it looks like it may be for real. It traded between 92 and 94 for a number of months. So that target's 96 on the upside. It was still not a believer that the dollar's reversed. It just got some firmness. But the positive is that crude oil's held this 40 level even with this dollar climb.
Okay, so does that mean crude is strong? Does it mean that crude is comatose? It's not paying attention? I mean, it seems like we don't really hear too much drama on the supply side anymore. Are we just waiting for then convincing economic data?
We are just waiting. We are waiting. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, but let's see if we can get a breakout in this stagnant sector. And if you look at a lot of the energy companies have great risk reward. And for me, it doesn't matter what I trade. You know, I'm an old school commodities guy by background, but I use the commodities as more of an indicator than anything else. You have to know what's happening in the commodities markets before you look at individual stocks, because obviously they all have the common building blocks and the common denominators. So looking at energy, looking at, we're going to talk about the metals, we're talking about interest rates. So all these things obviously have a big impact. But right now, the stock market is where it's at after making a bit of a turn. And it looks like we're going to finish mixed on the week. It's pretty positive to see it hold that 3,200 macro support. And let's see if all the commodities can follow.
Okay, one more commodity question for you on gold, Alan, because you're a big price action guy, but in the world of gold, there's a lot of fundamentalists with pitchforks and stuff, Alan, and a lot of them have been coming on my show still saying you have to buy gold, you have to buy gold. All the catalysts are still in. Can you possibly look at the chart of gold and not be worried right now, Alan? Because it's even down too today. Everything's up and gold is doing nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. And I'm an optimist when it comes to the gold market. We're at the support level. We've been trading between 1850 and roughly 2050 with that little rally above that for 2 months now. So this is a significant sign to see if we're going to hold this 1850 level. Now, the stock market held 3,200 with the S&P, so it came back to its breakout. So now gold's coming back to its breakout. Let's see if the stock market can lead the way, like I said here just a second ago. If the stock market can lead the way in assets off this bottom after this breakout, but it's healthy for markets to come back to their breakouts, see if they hold those support levels. Let's see. I would be a buyer of gold at these levels without having to risk a whole lot, because the risk reward is really set up here at this level. If it fails on a weekly basis and it can't hold 1,800, then it may be broken badly.
Okay. I feel you on that. I mean, we just went straight up and up and up. Ever since it moved from 18 beyond, it never had a red day until basically the top. So that to me makes sense, where there's like one last test for breakage before you really got to run for the hills on this thing. Is that a fair characterization of what you're saying?
And again, it's the frustration with the dollar index. I cannot believe that the forces in play are going to let the dollar get that firm. There's a vested interest and weakness in the dollar, and that that comes back to the show me the money. And I think they're going to show us the money, and there'll be something will come out here maybe to be a little bit more stimulative here. Mr. Trump gave away $200 to every elderly adult yesterday in a gift card. So who knows what the next stimulus is going to be? I'm looking under my door right now to see if someone's going to shove some money at me, and that would help out the market. It would help out the dollar decline.
All right. Hey, before we go, though, you're trying to make your own money on Apple, right? Hit me with the trade that you got here, Alan. Let's close the stocks.
All right. It comes back to you've got to trade what the markets give you. You just talked about crude oil stuck. You just talked about gold, trying to pick that bottom in gold and looking longer term. But the stock that had most appeal, and we've been talking about it for years, is Apple. For whatever reason, people completely forgot about Apple. But now after the split and after this pullback, it had a perfect setup. If you look at it, it traded from 60 to 140 on a split adjusted basis. And this split is fantastic for what I do, because I'm an options trader. I look for in-the-money options. And now the options are very viable to do what I want to do. So you can lean on that 100 level. I was buying the 105 calls for October. We're seeing a nice little U-turn here. Apple was down 20% and the market was down 10%. Apple still knows how to make money, in my opinion. I don't think anything's changed. You know, they made $50 billion in pure profit last year. If you don't want to buy Apple at a 20% discount, when do you want to buy Apple? So again, it's about risk reward, and I think leaning on that 100 level and see what happens in the next 2-3 weeks is very, very important.
Seems like people today are saying 25% was enough. Appreciate it, Alan. Always good thoughts, always nice energy. Hey, where's the other grill? I only see one there. There's usually two.
Yeah, there's one right behind me. I'm smoking some beef ribs and a rib roast, and I didn't want the smoke to get my eyes.
All right, good call, good call. And for those that don't know, Alan's a little bit of a connoisseur of sauces and meats, so go look it up. All right, appreciate it, Mr. Nugman. I'm not joking, not just trading.